Welcome to Forever Home Van Build. I hope you enjoy our series. So, Forever Homes Van Build, what's it all about? Well, I did decide that it was something that I really wanted to try and achieve, a van conversion. I think it really matches my skill base. Have a real passion for being able to engineer the best out of things, and to do something that's maybe not quite the same as what everybody else is doing, make it better, move it on, try something new, something fresh, something that makes the best out of what we've got available. And they're the sorts of things that I love to do. So let's hope that satisfies all of these things. Now, I'm going to take you along my journey. I'm going to take you through start to finish, and hopefully as well show you a few things that you don't normally see in the YouTube videos, maybe some of the more boring stuff, or the intricate stuff, not the sort of flamboyant sort of steps along the way. But I will show you some of that. I'll try and help you with some of the detail, give you some hints and tips, include some links to some things, try and make your life a little bit easier along the way, and sort of help you to show you what I've done, to give you a point of view, and also offer you a few other sources of information to help you to make your mind up about how you want to do it. So there is no right and wrong answer. There's clearly some better ways and some worse ways, I'm sure. But, I'll make some mistakes. I really will. But I'll also try and make sure that you don't have to, if that makes sense. Now, I'm going to start with a bit of a philosophy video, 30 seconds, tell you what I want to achieve. I think I'll then show you the strip out as my first vid, day one, and then I'll probably share some of my planning. Again, that's probably some of the stuff you don't see, but planning is what's going to make the rest of it successful. I'll share some of that, give you some hints and tips on that one, and see if that's of any use, and then we'll get into it and start making some moves into the van, and hopefully see it through to the end in a really positive way. Nice little hack. I used a diesel petrol filling arm nozzle to be able to get into all the nooks and crannies. The fact that it's bendy just perfect. Fits in the end of the hoovers. So I've got a silver 2018 Peugeot Boxer. It's a L3 H2. Still got the cab seats in here, but you can see it's obviously had a bit of a hard life. Pretty dirty, pretty scratched, lots of rust on the floor. Work to do, but nothing that can't be achieved. You know, that's okay. We can turn this into something that's going to be something to be proud of. So can't wait. So that's the end of day one. Day two, I'm recording this after because I forgot to do it really at the time to make the video make sense. But day one, day two being all about stripping out, cleaning, bit of rust repair, all of that kind of stuff. And of course it'll be different for each of your own vans. Some of you will need to do more than others and it will take longer. But still, felt really good to get all of the old out and at least being able to have that really clean shell to be able to start with. But I've not talked about those so far. And I know this is video number one of the van build. So you may have watched some others so far, this might be your first, but is day zero and all of those things that go into thinking about how you get a van. So I'm just going to do some of that from the desktop and share, you know, my theory, and hopefully then that makes a little bit of sense and something that you can relate to, or even if you're starting that journey of trying to figure out what to do first, that helps you. So welcome to day zero. I say day zero, it's more day -5, -10, -50. And this is all to do with my pre-considerations, if you like, from purchasing that van, starting some work, getting stuck in, and what journey I've really taken to get to that point. So it's a decision tree. It's not for everyone, but I guess that, you know, whether you write it down, whether you just simply have it in your head, whether it's you know, a shared level of responsibility around, you know, parts to do, parts not to do. I guess you'll all go on this kind of journey. But what I wanted to do by writing this down and showing it to you is, you know, offer you the opportunity to see it. If you feel that it's of any use to you, then by all means, you're welcome to use it. But again, if it's not, or it just simply prompts, you know, a thought in your head to help make your journey a little bit better, hopefully, you know, it sits somewhere within all of that. But what's it all about? I mean, it's almost the steps that I've taken really to get to, you know, doing the work, and a pictorial example of that. And in the beginning, I defined what I needed, and I think my tip from this is very much not wanting to design for 100% of what you might use your van for, but that sort of 80 to 90% of its use. And the reason for not being 100 is because that last 10% can get very expensive and very difficult. And actually, really, in reality, it's probably something that you're not always going to really need. So 80 to 90% being the almost, and the very much covers the necessary and a lot of the nice. And once you know that and you've got that in your head, you're very much able to think about, you know, what types of vans do I need? Do I need a transporter sized van for the odd night away? How many people do I need to provide for? What sort of time spent, distance, you know, all those kinds of things. Where am I going to keep it? Can I park it on my drive? Does it fit? Do I need a high top? Do I not? You know, all of those things are considerations, of course. And then beyond that, you have got the cost of the van, and the age of the van, being very much a dictator of the cost. And then also that condition, how much work do you want to put into it? How much in total are you really willing to spend? They will all be part of that initial consideration. I will say at that stage, though, do very much think about what sort of layouts you might like. Start putting those montages together, or those favorites in your web browser, or printing off some images, whatever that is like for you. Do start to formulate a bit of an idea about that look and that feel and that style, and some of those layout bits that you really, really like, and then some bits that you really perhaps don't. And that's your starter, really, starter for 10. So once you've got that, you can formulate that. What model do I need to buy? How much money have I really got? And what's my layout likely to look like? When we talk about budget, you could spend on a reasonable build anywhere between 5,000 or 6,000 up to 15,000, 16,000, I guess. Depends upon that specification that you want to dictate for your van. Now, there's things like, do I want to put some new tires and new alloys on there? Do I want to put an awning? Am I going to add some glass? Internally, what's the finish and the feel? How much will I spend on my electrics? Will I have a bathroom? All those things will certainly dictate how much the totality of it will cost, and that's going to be very much driven by how much you want to spend. Given that, you'll then know how much you want to spend on a van, and I think getting that money bit right, in my experience with any kind of build, is the deal breaker. So if you get that bit right, everything else can be worked out and can be delivered. So very much thinking about what budget do you need to stick to, and what can you get for your money. Once you've done that, that very much leads to that detailed budget. And whilst you're not going to have all the answers to that detailed budget, you certainly can start to think about, I know how much then an awning is going to cost. I know how much then certain parts of my electric system is going to cost. How much my batteries are going to cost. Am I going to have solar, and then therefore how much that's going to cost. And once you've got all of those things in a more detailed format, you'll probably find that you're either under or over budget. Probably more likely over budget. And by being over budget, that helps you to then go round and round that specification. So, you're almost creating that cyclical decision making that says, what part of that style do I need to keep, or what can I compromise on? There's certain things like, certain finishes that will cost more than others. Certain electrical components that will cost more than others. How much are you going to reuse second hand? How much are you going to be savvy about your purchases? These will help you to drive all of those queries so that you can get a really good handle on actually what you can afford. And once you've done that, that solidifies your layout, really. There will be some playing around with that. Now, there'll be stuff that you've learned over that period of research, over that period of specification, deriving. And once you get to that, you will have an updated layout. You absolutely will. Your layout will change a number of times. Maybe only slightly, but it certainly will change. And that layout then will help you to solidify the next steps, because you're going to need a wiring diagram, you're going to need a plumbing diagram, and you're going to need to know, what do I need to do first and second and third. And I say that because you know, an example would be, where are you going to put your wiring? Is your wiring going to be hidden behind the walling? And if so, then therefore, you know, obviously you need to do your first fix wiring before you finish your finished wall surfaces. So that's your order of works, really, essentially. But in order to get all of that right, you very much need to know, where do I want that socket? How many lights do I need? Where's my waste going to go? You know, and they're the things then that the plumbing and the wiring diagram will help you to do. And what they will also help you to do when you get to delivering that step is to make sure that you're not making an error, or as little errors as you possibly can, because it's very easy to forget stuff. I mean, doing a van build, I liken it very much to building a small house, really. There's a lot of complexity involved, and a lot of parts, and a lot of things to buy, and a lot of things to make sure that you do. And it's very easy to get those wrong or forget them. So using those tools as much as you possibly can, and for some of you it'll be not that exciting, because this part of the video ain't that exciting, you know, I get that, but it's certainly the sort of necessary steps in your own way of getting there to make sure that you make the build as quick and as easy and as painless as you possibly can. Okay, now I will share those wiring diagrams and those plumbing specs and my order of works with you in some later videos. And I'll also share with you my layout, because I think, again, that's helpful. I've done a lot of work on trying to figure out the best use of that space, try and make sure that I get the maximum, you know, pounds worth of squeezing out all of that, you know, juice that I possibly can, if you like, from the space that I've got. And hopefully that will help you. All of those things help you in future videos. Okay, now that's almost the plan. This is the how you get on with it. So researching each step, knowing what you want to do first, learning about it, buying the stuff you need, doing it, and then going back to researching the next step. So, and know, again, all of those things seem really obvious, but that's the sort of stuff that happens when you're ready. And if you're at the stage now where you're considering, what van do I buy? What do I really need it for? What should it look like? And before you buy that van, and you're going to get really excited when that van turns up, because you're going to want to get straight into it. These are sorts of things, I guess, you could start to do now. And then you've got a budget update if you really want to. I've kept a log of certain things, knowing what I've spent a little bit more on, a little bit less on, because you absolutely will spend more and less on certain things, and then therefore that allows you to know what you can put back into you know, potentially purchasing other parts of the build, and what else you might be able to afford or not afford. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. As I said in the beginning, it's not the most exciting part, but certainly if this is of any use to you whatsoever, I will include a link to the image in the description. So hopefully that's of some use to you, if I can achieve that, of course. If not, you can always take a screenshot off the screen, but you're welcome to use it. And if you've got any questions at all about this, you know, just leave me a comment and I'll try and answer them as best I can. So, Forever Homes Van Build Episode 1, that's done. Glad you watched it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you think I can do a bit better, let me know in the comments. If you'd like to follow me, I really appreciate it. But also, I've got loads more content to come over these coming weeks. And if you find them useful, helpful, then follow me, and we'll make sure that they come up in your notifications so that you can watch a few more. Thanks for watching, though. Appreciate it. Bye.